and founder of a Big Idea Maps, my royalty TV channel. And today we have two superstars grace their presence to hangout. And one is Paulo Barrasso, and one is Miles Serger. And they both are the top earner in the whole Empower Network, not just Big Idea Mastermind. So today it's really, I actually feel like a dream that they actually uh, willing to come onto our little hangout, and really pleased and really happy and proud of this hangout. And the purpose is to let people know what goes on with the champions' minds, and not too uptight, just relax and sit back and enjoy the ride with champions. And again, my name is Audrey Caitland, and you probably see me a few times if you are familiar with our TV channel. And our panel today, we have Ellen and Felix Castro, Juan Flores, and our superstars, champions, Master and Paulo Barroso. So I think what I would do, since Paulo actually is from London, so it's London time, 2 o'clock in the morning. So really happy and really flattered that he be willing to sacrifice his sleep to be with us. So without further ado, I'm going to pass on to him first. Let him introduce himself. Here's Paulo.
Hi guys, good evening everybody, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Wonderful introduction, by the way, Audrey. I appreciate you. Thanks very much for asking me to be on this Google Hangout. I'm totally humbled by the invitation and by the name Superstar. I've never been called that before, so that's the first. And I certainly don't consider myself a superstar. I'm just a normal guy, just doing my thing. Learning from our great leaders in Big Idea Mastermind, obviously Vic Schreishaus and people like Tony Rush, Chris, all the big leaders in Empower Network. I'm just trying to model myself in them. So I certainly don't consider myself a superstar, but just trying my best really to learn and to model myself in our mentors. It's just a brief introduction about my story. Obviously, a lot of you guys already know my story, and I'm not going to go on for an hour and telling you everything that I had to go through in order to get to, the position that I am right now. But just a brief introduction. I'm Portuguese, by the way. I immigrated to London, to the UK, when I was 18 years old, with no English, with not a lot of money in my pocket, and not a lot of skills, because I just barely finished high school and I didn't have any degree. So I went to London for an adventure, to meet some friends, and I ended up staying. So stayed in London, and then I thought to myself, okay, I need to get a job because it's pretty expensive to live here. And got into all sorts of jobs, labor jobs like bar work, McDonald's, whatever, anything that I could obviously work with my hands, because my English wasn't great, so it had to be a manual labor. So eventually I got into, I did an apprenticeship to become a printer, and then my English obviously started to improve. And one of the turning points for me while I was working doing this apprenticeship to become a printer was something that my boss at the time, this man, which obviously I won't even mention his name because it wouldn't be fair on his name, or that he said to me, it was a turning point in my life, which was, I went to him because I wanted further training, because I wanted to become I wanted to rise up in the company and be a manager. That's what I wanted to be, because I wanted to earn more money and I wanted to have a better life. So I remember I was a foot messenger, by the way, a walker. And what that is, before you become a printer, you need to do all the dirty work for the company, which is basically just walking from A to B, picking up, collecting work. So I was basically a messenger. And I remember going to my boss, to this manager, and ask him, look, I've been here for 3 months now. I really want to be a printer. And I was staying behind, even after hours, not getting paid. I was staying behind, just learning the craft. And I thought I was ready. because I was staying behind, not getting paid. And I thought, I'm going to ask him, would you mind to consider me to become a printer? And this was a turning point in my life because he looked at me and he said to me, Paulo, your English is not very good. You don't look quite right for the position. And to be honest with you, my opinion is you will never amount to anything in life. And I went like, wow, I got really angry actually inside when he said that because I couldn't understand why would someone say that to me. So, but in reality, what that man did, he did me a huge favor because I didn't allow his opinion of me to become my reality. So this could have gone really, really wrong because I was only a kid. I was 18 years old when he said that to me. So I could have just believed him and thought, okay, he knows better because he's obviously an older man, he's a manager, he's got the experience, and he can see that I don't have the potential, and I could have just agreed with him and stay where I was, and that's it. But instead, what he did to me actually, he changed something in my mindset, because I went home that day thinking, you know what, I was so angry with what he said to me that I said to myself, I'm going to prove him wrong. So I made that sentence, what he said to me, saying I would never amount to anything, yeah, my why, the fire in my belly to prove him wrong. And guess what, guys? Within 3 months, I was a printer, and within 6 years, I actually became the business manager for that business. So I completely blew out all expectations of what he thought of me. And I actually managed to rise up in that company. That I became an assistant manager. Within 6 years, I've actually took over that branch, and I was a manager, and I was still a boss in that company up until April last year. So that's just to prove that don't ever let anyone's opinions, guys, become your reality. Because someone's opinion of you doesn't mean that is true. It's just an interpretation of what they think about you. So don't ever let anyone anyone's opinion really become your reality. So moving on from the printing business, which I was a slave to, by the way. I used to work 12-hour days. I worked in a center in the city of London, and I actually live outside London. I live in a town called Milton Keynes. And I remember jumping in my car every single day to go to work at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I used to get up at 5:30, 5:15 in the morning, jump in a car on the motorway, take me an hour to drive to London, work until 6, 7 o'clock at night, and then come back again, which used to take me about it was an 80-mile round trip, so it used to take me an hour there and an hour and a half back. So I didn't used to get back home really until 8 o'clock every single day. And that became quite tiring. Why? Because then I had two children. Obviously, I got married and all that. And I never used to see my kids. And you guys, some of you are family, obviously who have families, know that when you have small children, and they tend to be in bed by 8, 9 o'clock. So I never used to see my children during the week. And that kind of troubled me because I wanted more in life. I wanted, you know what? Life is so short, yeah. I didn't want to see my kids growing without dad being involved. Do you understand what I'm saying? I wanted to be with them. I wanted to see them grow. And the way that I was working, the way that I was living was 12-hour days. So I wasn't seeing my kids. I was like a part-time dad. I used to see them weekends. And then guess what? Some weekends I had to go in and work because I was a boss there. And when there was overtime required and all that, I had to be there. So again, some weekends, again, I would be at work. And that was another why for me that I had to change. So I start looking for something else. I didn't particularly wanted to work for someone else anymore, even though I was a boss in that company and I had obviously members of staff working for me and all that. But it wasn't what I wanted to do in life. It wasn't my calling in life. It wasn't my passion, really. I'm going to be honest with you, printing wasn't my passion. It was a job that paid a salary. But due to the fact that I made so many bad investments in my life, I've actually, I used to be broke. Listen to this. I used to get paid on the first day of the month, yeah, like everyone else. And by the 10th, I had no money left in my account. I know this is crazy, and I was on a good salary as well. But it's you guys know how it is. Some of you struggle as well, and you guys know how it is when you don't have enough money to feed your family and treat your wife or treat your kids for whatever, going out restaurants or even holidays. I mean, it was tough. There was moments that I thought to myself, why am I doing this? I'm working 12-hour days and I'm broke. I am obviously doing something wrong here. And I wanted to change that. I wanted to prove to my wife and to my kids that daddy could provide for them in a way that I have never have. Like, I wanted to have enough money for us to do all the wonderful things we could do. I wanted to retire my wife. I wanted to be able to take 2, 3, whatever holidays a year, just the norm, not to be too eccentric and buy a mansion and Ferraris and all that. That's not me, but I wanted to be comfortable, and I wanted to prove to my wife, especially to my wife, that I could do it. So in my quest to do that, took me a very long time, by the way. I started looking online for a business. I knew there was people making money online. I had friends. They were MLMers. They were in Amway and all that. And I knew there were people making a lot of money online. And I thought to myself, you know what? That's exactly what I want. I could work from home. I could work on the internet. That's what I want to do. So in my quest to do that, I spent all the money I had, maybe, extra money I had just in buying silly little courses, get quick rich schemes, all the things you guys probably know. I actually suffered from the shiny object syndrome. Do you know what I mean? I used just to jump whatever the new thing was. I won't mention any names because it's not fair on those programs to mention names. So I won't say all the names. But you know what? If you mention any program that you guys knew or joined out there, I was probably a member of it. And guess what, guys? I failed and I failed and I failed. I don't think I failed because I wasn't smart or anything like that. I failed because what very first thing is because I didn't have the right mindset. That's one. I was the most negative person you could ever meet. So, and then another thing I failed. Why I failed was because I didn't stick with it enough time. So I would start something, be around maybe for a week or two. I'm not a millionaire yet. I will drop out. So I was in these kind of deals, waiting to make $1 million in a month or something. And because I wasn't rich in 7 days, I would move on to the next thing. So I just couldn't focus. So my mind was just all over the place. And it took me a while to understand this, why I couldn't make it, until I got really fed up at failing. And then I started looking inside, because I used to blame everything. I used to blame the programs, thinking, oh, the programs don't work. Of course they work. There are people making money. I won't mention companies here, but there are people making money in many MLM companies. So, but I wasn't. And I start thinking, why am I blaming my sponsor then? Why am I blaming others? So I stopped the blaming game. I completely changed my mindset, by the way. I no longer blame anybody or sponsors or any of that sort. But I just start really thinking about maybe the problem lies within me. Have you guys noticed something, that every time you have a problem, right? Have you noticed that you are always there? I don't know if this is making sense. I hope I'm making sense, because it's now 2:15 in the morning and maybe my brain is frying. I just start thinking, hold on, all the problems I have, right? I'm always there.
Yeah.
That's quite interesting. That's me blaming my sponsor. My sponsor doesn't do this. My sponsor doesn't do that. And I thought to myself, hold on a minute. What if I just grow some balls, yeah, and man up and really think logically why I'm not succeeding? And I did that. And what I did was this, yeah, okay, obviously I need to change stuff that I'm doing on a daily basis. Whatever I'm doing, I need to change it, okay? So I wrote down the diary, And I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't do a diary for a month. I did a diary for about a week or so. And I wrote down what did I do on a daily basis from the moment that I woke up to the moment that I went to sleep. So I would write down, I wake up in the morning, I jump in the car to go to work. Okay, what do I do in the car? Oh, I listen to music. Okay, I listen to the news, which is, by the way, the worst thing that you can do to your brain. So I was doing that. And then I would get to work, greet my staff. Guess what? We would just hang around and just talk about life, how bad life is. They were all broke, by the way. And we were just talking about being broke. Yeah, we broke. England's crap, we broke, and the government is this, and the education is that. And then someone, oh, there was enough paper. We had a library of, not books, unfortunately, of papers. So everyone would bring their own paper, and then we would discuss it. I remember this. We would just discuss the daily news, how bad it was. Incredible. So I made a note of that. And then I would come home, tired, obviously, from a 12-hour, work shift, and I would watch TV. I would put my feet up and relax. So I thought to myself, okay. And then I was doing these MLM programs, trying to achieve something. And I thought to myself, you know what? Whatever I'm doing, I'm going to have to change this because this is not working. My present life, yeah, it's not working. I don't want it. So what do I need to do to change it? And then I found mindset, that I had to change my mindset. In order to become more positive, obviously the old programming in my brain, I had to get rid of it because I had lots of issues with money. I didn't know this until obviously a few months ago that I grew up in a family that, for example, that taught me that having a lot of money, rich people were dishonest. Okay, I remember my parents always telling me that you need to work hard for your money. You need to be a laborer, work with your hands to make money. I remember my dad saying, we are poor. We weren't really poor. We were middle class, really. But I remember my dad saying it. We don't have a lot of money, but at least we're honest. I grew up thinking, if I'm going to have too much money, I'm going to have to be dishonest. So I had some limited beliefs about money. Okay, so I had to change. You know what? I used these words once or twice, and I'm going to use it again. I really am the underdog here. I had so many things, going wrong for me. My thinking was wrong. I was negative. I was always angry with myself. I was always stressed. And I thought having a lot of money was actually bad. I didn't know this. Consciously, I wanted the money. Consciously, I wanted to make money and do something with my life and retire my wife and buy all the nice things and all that. But unconsciously, my subconscious mind was actually working against me, and I didn't know this. So moving on. So what I did on a day-to-day basis, I changed everything. And what I mean by that, I jumped in the car to go into work because I carried on. Obviously, I was still doing the same job. But instead of listening to music or instead of listening to the radio and all the news and all the crap, guess what, guys? I made my car a living, breathing library. Seriously, I had all the tapes, like from Napoleon Hill, Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins. I had a library in my car. And what I did, from that day on, I started listening to those audios every single day because I had lots of time in the car, 1 hour there, an hour and a half back. I was doing 2-3 hours a day on those audios. Can you imagine the stuff that I started learning? And I'm going to be totally honest with you. Nothing happened for the first 30 days or 60 days or maybe 3 months. Nothing happened. What it started doing was, though, my mindset started shifting and I started becoming a more positive person. That is true, but I didn't become a millionaire in 3 months. So, but that was the beginning of my mind shift, and I start seeing the difference in me, becoming a more positive person, and I start seeing a light in the end of the tunnel, and suddenly things start, it's like my senses started to be awakened again, start seeing things, colors brighter, my hearing become enhanced, my smell, all my senses was like I was alive again. And due to the fact that I started doing that, and by the way, I never stopped doing that. I carried on, even when I wasn't seeing any success or anything happening. I just carried on. Why? Because I didn't want to go back to my old life and just watch TV and all that. So I would listen to the tapes, come home, I would read, and I wouldn't even watch the TV. So I made a lot of changes in my life, and guess what? When I made those changes, I start seeing different results in my life. Because what I was doing was this, guys. I was doing every day the same thing, yeah, expecting a different result. All right, let me see if I can explain this to you. A lot of people do the same thing every day, and then they expect a different result. Now, that to me is lunacy. It's just, I've been there. I kept doing the same thing, and then 12 o'clock at night, oh, I'm not rich yet. How does that work? It doesn't work that way. So you need to make changes in your life in order to get different results. So, and again, I'm sorry if I keep going on too long about my story. This mindset shift then led me to a person that actually changed my life, because it got to a point where I was still obviously looking for a business to join and to really work from home. That's what I wanted. My ultimate goal was I want to work from home. I don't want to travel anywhere anymore. I want to quit my job. I want to work from home and really retire my wife. And down to that quest, I knew I had to find a mentor. So one of the big successes that I'm having right now was due to the fact that I started to look for a mentor, guys. And I'm blessed and humbled to say this, that I came across someone who actually completely changed my life, and his name is Vic Strijshuis. And obviously you guys here on this panel, and many people listening to this call, you all know who he is. And Vic straight away told me, Paulo, I know you're doing your mindset stuff and all that, but you're still saying things that tells me that your mindset's not quite right. Because I was still, with a lot of garbage, in my life. And he went to me, let's do this. I'm going to put you on a mindset course for 30 days. And if you do this, as I tell you to do, if you got to read for 30 minutes every single day, if you got to listen to an audio for 30 minutes every day, and you got to watch these videos that I'm going to give you, if you do this for 30 days, your life will change, and then all the marketing and all the traffic and all that I'm going to teach you will fall into place, and you will align with your mindset, and you'll be successful. And you know what? I trusted him, and I went, you know what? I'm going to give it. I'm not going to give it. I'm not going to give it a try. I'm going to do it. And I did that, guys. And there was moments that I thought, well, I've been doing this for nearly 30 days here, and I'm learning no marketing yet. I felt a little bit out of place. I felt like asking Vic, come on, Vic, what's going on here, man? When are you going to teach me the real marketing? And Vic just said, you know what? Just do it, and you will see what's going to happen after 30 days. And guess what? Vic was right. After 30 days, my life absolutely changed. Completely changed. Okay? You know that saying in the Bible, that's when it says, I was once blind and now I see. It's the best way I can describe it. I really became a new person after that. And then, of course, Vic gave me the tools as well, the traffic. He told me, he was the only person that I've ever came across that actually told me, or taught me even, properly on how to market online. Because before I was all over the place. I think I was trying to learn 20 or 30 traffic strategies. And I was, let me tell you this, guys, I was trying to be a master at all trades, but I was a jack of all trades and a master at nothing. So I would never master anything. I would just jump from traffic source to traffic source until I came across Vic, really, and I purchased one of his products called High Traffic Academy, and that was a turning point for me, because what I did, I became a master at one thing at a time, and that was a turning point for me. So instead of learning all these traffic strategies like everyone else was trying to do, I learned one, and I concentrate on one, and I stayed on one for whatever it took. Some took me weeks, some took me months, but I became really good at about 5 traffic strategies, and I stuck to them. When before I was trying to learn 20 and 30, and I would never be a master at anything. So that was another turning point for me, was when I learned traffic obviously from our mentor Vic, but I learned it properly, and I took my time, and I took that on board, and then with the right mindset and with the traffic, we needed a product. I done ClickBank products for a while, and I actually managed to do quite well from that. I'm not going to lie to you. But the turning point for me was when Vic in January told me that he explained in this webinar the vision of Big ID Mastermind. And when he told me on that webinar, I listened to that webinar. He didn't tell me, he told everyone on that webinar, not just me, sorry. But I felt like he was speaking to me. And I saw the vision for Big ID Mastermind, and somehow I had my aha moment, and I thought to myself, this is the one for me, guys. I'm going to stop searching. I'm going to stop doing ClickBank products and all that, and I'm going to go all in. And on that day, I joined. I didn't join at the basic level, the $25 deal, just to test the waters and all that. I made a decision. I made my mind up quite quick because I resonated with everything that Vic was saying. I resonated with him 100%. And I thought to myself, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do this on one condition. I'm going to go all in, okay, and I'm going to give it 100%. No 50, no 60%, 100. And I joined, and I went all in. And by the way, I was still working full-time. So what I was doing when I joined Big ID Mastermind was this. I was going to work again 12 hours a day. I was coming back home at 8 o'clock, sometimes later, tired, but I would work on my BIM business. Guess what, guys? Until 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, wherever it took. Do you remember what Dave Wood used to say, used to pass out? I resonate with that. Because I used to be down here, and I used to pass out and wake up. Oh God, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I need to go to work next day. That's what it took, and I'm not lying to you. It's the absolutely God honest truth. I used to be so tired that I would wake up with my laptop still on, thinking, "Oh my God, it's 2 o'clock in the morning." Back to bed, and then do it all over again the next day because I had to get up at 5:30 to go to work. And guess what, guys? I know this is hard to believe, but I've done this 7 days a week. 7 days a week. No days off. I was doing this. Why? See, you need to understand something. You need to have a strong why. Without a strong why, you can't do it. You give up because it gets to a point where it gets too tiring and you think, sod this, I'm not going to do this, it's too hard. And guess what, guys? There were times that I thought to myself, oh my God, this is tough. Do I carry on? Do I do it or not? But because I had a strong why, my why was there. And I would just get out of, that little voice that we all have, the little ego playing games with you. I just had to shut him up because I know my why. I still have that why, by the way. So that's what propelled me to carry on and carry on. Even when I was tired and days that I could even open my eyes, I'm like, oh, I'm too tired. Wouldn't that be so easy just to sit in front of the TV? Yes, he would, but I didn't go down that route because I knew what I wanted to achieve. So some people see success, but they don't know the blood, sweat, and tears that actually goes behind that. And it's hard work. It requires hard work. And I really urge you, why am I telling you all this? I'm not telling you all this to say for you guys to think, oh, look how wonderful Paulo is. It's not about that. It's about you knowing what your why is. Why do you want the things you want? Have a really good think about that. And then in order to go and achieve it, then you need to throw yourself in 100% and work hard 100% because there's no other way. Really, there is no other way. I'm not here to give you any other secrets apart from changing your mindset and work on yourself. Because when you work on yourself, don't worry about the house. But how am I going to make 5,000, 10,000? Don't worry about how you're going to make it. Invest in yourself. And by the way, when I say invest in yourself, it's basically all you have to do is join Big ID Mastermind because we've got the training inside the back office. All the training is there. So I'm not asking you to go and invest in yourself in the college education. you need to study at night and go to school. That's not what I'm saying. The schooling system actually is not going to do you any good. I'm talking about growing yourself as a person in your mindset, and we've got the tools to teach you that. You can come in at zero. I came in at zero. I came in as I was the most miserable bastard you could ever meet. And if I can change, guys, I hope you see this as an inspiration, really. I'm not here to brag. I'm here to say to you, look, I didn't know any English. I didn't have any skills. I was negative. I was angry. I suffered from a lot of, I used to drive in the car and get angry with other people every single day. I used to have, not fights, but, drive like a maniac. I've stopped by the police about 4 times. I went to court. I went to court twice for speeding because I was really stressed. I used to be the most. I'm not anymore, by the way. But I was. Oh God, next time you meet my wife, she can tell you all about it. I used to be really, really stressed, really stressed. So why am I telling all this? If I can change, guys, and I'm nothing special, trust me. Trust me, I'm nothing special. I'm just a normal Joe. If I can change my life around, 100%, I change my life around completely. My income's gone up. Everything's changed. If I can do it, a little Portuguese guy came out of Portugal with no English. English, as you can gather, is not even my first language. If I can do this, guys, imagine what you can do. Seriously, anybody can do this. But you need to know your why. And you need to work on yourself, because when you work on yourself, guess what happens? You grow as a person, and so does your income. Look at your income following you. This is your income. Look, it's following you. You grow, so does your income. You grow, so does your income. A lot of people think that, well, I'll grow when my income grows. That is really the completely wrong way to go on about it. I used to think that way. But it's so wrong. If you really work on your mindset and you grow yourself, educate yourself, then your income will follow, and then sky is the limit. It really is. And the beauty about this business is you can have unlimited earnings. Beautiful. You can earn as much, or you can even earn more than David Wood and David Sharp. You can earn more than Vic Stridehouse. It's really possible. And that concept blew my mind, because when I left my job, I resigned in April, by the way. I said goodbye to my work. I was there for 15 years, and I attended an event, which is another thing that I would love to talk to you about, but maybe not tonight, because there's other speakers here. I don't want to stay here the whole night, but I had a breakthrough in an event that I've attended. Vic Stridehouse looked me in the eye, and he shook my hand, and he said to me, Paulo, you have what it takes to succeed, and I see you. You are 100 grand a month person. And he shook my hand, and he looked me in the eye, and I could see the sincerity in his eyes, that he was telling the truth, and he believed in me. And what did that do to me was, I went back to England, because this was an event we had in Miami. I went back to England and I resigned, because I knew I couldn't work there anymore. I couldn't function there anymore. And my belief system just showed up. So sometimes it's good to have someone who believes in you, because Vic believed in me more than I believed in myself. My belief system just shot up through the roof. So it's important, guys, for you guys to attend the events and be surrounded by people like on this panel here. It's so important, because we believe in each other, and we raise each other up, and we elevate people. That's the business we're in. We're in the business of empowering people. So it was liberating to give up my work, because I was a working man, and it was hard, because I still had some limited beliefs, like I needed to go to work to make money. Yet I was earning more. I was earning 4 times more with Empower than I was earning with my present occupation. It was crazy. So it just got to a point that I thought, no, you know what? I'm actually unemployable now. I can't just work. I just can't work for anyone else right now.
That's great to say.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful feeling, guys. Having the power to do it, and we all have this power. Everyone on this panel here, and everyone listening, actually, we all have this power. And guys, I hope I'm just not impressing you, but impressing upon you what's possible. Okay? I'm not here to brag, look how cool I am. That's not my thing. I just want you guys to see that if I can do it, please see it as an inspiration to all of you that you can do it as well. And if you were to talk about incomes, and before I leave, I'll just say this. Look, I've earned, this is the possibilities, guys. I've earned from January 2013 until July now, um, 6 months, I've earned $222,000. FTC income disclaimer. These are typical incomes. You guys can earn more. You can earn less. Actually, you can make nothing at all. If I don't know who you are, so maybe you'd come into this business and just sit on your ass and don't do any work. So, why am I telling you this income, my income? Because if I can do it, guys, imagine what you guys can do. You can do 1,000 times better, and it's really possible. And I remember before I left my work and I resigned, when they found out I was joining Big ID Mastermind and Empower, do you know what they said to me? Oh, you're joining a pyramid scheme. And you know what? That's really funny. It just makes me laugh when people say that now, because I think, this is my belief, by the way, my opinion, I think they are the ones in the pyramid scheme. I'll tell you why. We have a CEO in our company. I was a boss there, but I wasn't the CEO. So the CEO of this company, and by the way, I'm not going to mention the name of the company, the CEO is the top of the pyramid, and the workers and the middle management are the ones making the money for the CEO. The CEO, in other words, was the one getting rich, rich, and rich. I would never, ever make as much money as the CEO in that company.
Yeah.
No way. Impossible. So all the workers at the bottom will never raise up to the point where the CEO was. So the CEO of the company was actually making all the money. Guess what? Empower Network is an invert pyramid, because everyone is at the same level. We can earn more money than Dave Wood and David Sharp.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me any other company out there that you actually have the chance to earn more money than the company owners? I don't know of any company like that. So I laugh when people say, oh, you're part of a pyramid scheme. I call the 9 to 5 the real pyramid scheme, because they are making a boss, the CEO of the company, whatever you want to call it, the managing director, whatever, they're the ones on the top of the pyramid making all the money from the workers. So you tell me who's under a pyramid. Anyway, I'm sorry if I kept too long. I don't know how
No,
long
we
I've been
love
speaking
it.
to, guys. I'm sorry.
Nah,
Because there's
thank you.
wonderful speakers. I mean, there's Miles as well, which we got to learn a lot from. I mean, you guys are all wonderful. So thanks for for listening to me and to my story. And I hope I came clear, and I hope I'll impress upon you the possibilities, guys. The possibilities are just incredible. You guys can do it. We all created at God's image. Can you believe that?
Yes.
Can you imagine the power within you? We all have this power. I don't want to go into religion here, but we are all created at God's image. Can you imagine? Ever think about that? Really think about it. Imagine the power you have within you. You are unlimited human beings with a lot of power. You just, if you put it to practice, make a decision, change your life. Don't just watch this webinar and then, yeah, nice words, nice guy, what's next? And then you move on to next. There is no next. I tell you what, if you guys can't make it with Big ID Mastermind or Empower Network, I really doubt if you can make it anywhere else, because I've been there. I'm not talking theory here. I actually been into all those crazy programs out there. And what we are part of here, guys, just before I finish, is this. We're part of a movement. I don't consider myself part of a business opportunity anymore. I'm not. Empower Network is so much more than that. I'm part of actually a movement. I'm part of a leaders factory. I love that term. We are the leaders factory. I love that. I thought I would come into Empower just to make money and that's it, stay under the radar, but it's not. You can become much more than that. You can impact people's lives. You can speak on stage and touch people all over the world. Because when we were in Endeavor, I thought I was speaking to 6,000 people on stage. It was being broadcast all over the world. Live. Can you imagine the power of that? You can actually speak your message and touch, change people's lives. So Empower is a hell of a lot more than just a business opportunity. And this is home for me. I absolutely love this company. I love these people here. These people here are my brothers and sisters now. And you know, I never been part of anything like this. We meet around the world every 3 months, I think, 2, 3 months. We meet and we mastermind together. We learn things from each other. We elevate each other. If I have any problems, I know I can be on the phone to Miles, and he's there for me. You know, it's a completely different ball game now. I love what I do, guys, and I'm sorry if I don't sound maybe so enthusiastic, but it's pretty late here, and I've got my family sleeping
You
upstairs,
sound
so I'm sorry
great,
if I'm
Paulo.
not shouting and smiling and all that, but you know what? I'm over the moon and I'm blessed, and I pinch myself every single day and I count my blessings. You know, that what I've been given, an opportunity that I will never forget, and I'm internally um, you know, grateful to God and to people like Vic Streishaus, which is my mentor, for giving me this opportunity. So I'm blessed to be here, guys. So over to you, Audrey. Thanks for listening to me.
It's a, I think this is one of the most sincere speeches that we got, and it's very thorough. I actually could understand from your struggle and to when you succeed. And to be honest with you, I actually think that I don't know how many people could really, really empathize the bottleneck period of a time before you break through. Before you become successful, that must be really hard. And so I wonder, have you ever had a thought of quitting?
Yeah, absolutely. There were times that was hard, but you know what? I saw that. I call it my walls. I was hitting these walls because we all come across struggles and walls and all that. So in my quest to find something online that would work for me and learn about traffic and all, there was times that I thought this is getting really hard and I'm not seeing the results. It's when you don't see the results, you see, then you get disheartened. But the best way I can explain it was I was hitting the wall, but I didn't stop and I kept hitting it and hitting it and hitting it with everything I could. And I could see a lot of people don't see this, but I could see the wall getting thinner. And I knew if I kept hitting it enough, suddenly that wall would crash. A lot of people, one more hit, and that wall would smash and they just give up. They give up the dream. And I didn't want to be one of those because I've given up all my life on things. And I made a decision. I'm not going to give up. It went as bad as this, yeah. I'm going to do this or I'm going to die trying. As simple as that. No plan B for me. I have to do this. And if I die trying to do this, then I give it my best shot. So that was my mentality. So I thought about giving up, yeah, quite a few times, but I didn't, and I kept going and going and going until one day I hit it so hard, and guess what? The wall crumbled finally.
Yeah.
Finally, yeah, it was hard, but yeah, you can do it.
Then you use your driving skills to run your business. And no police. No police to stop you.
No more police. No more police.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
But I'm much calmer. I'm so much calmer now. And when I drive now, I'm so courteous now, and I let everyone through. And people that cut me up, I'm like, whatever, brother.
Exactly.
Cut me up a million times, I can care less, because I don't have the ego anymore. You see, I used to have a big ego. I used to think, oh, that man cut me up, I'm going to cut him up as well, because I thought I was a big man. Or, you know what? That's the ego, man. If you learn how to shut up your ego, your little voice inside, your life can really change. So,
what would you say to people like, I constantly, even myself, I feel I have that moments like, I go to event, I hear great things, and I know I take it in. But it's a constant effort to keep that in mind, because keep all those important breakthrough in mind and keep going with that in mind. And
absolutely.
Some people maybe they just hear this and then they feel, okay, I got it, and then tomorrow, okay, maybe something just distract them and they lost
absolutely.
momentum.
This takes constantly working on yourself on a daily basis. I'll tell you my rituals every day. This is what I do. Is I wake up in the morning, even before I start my business, like turning my PC on even, I
Hmm.
read a book. So I'm a reader. What you guys need to understand is all leaders are readers. And
Yes.
I learned that from my mentor. He told me, Paulo, because I didn't used to read, by the way. I never used to read a lot. So my mentor told me this, that in order for you to succeed in all areas of your life, become a reader, learn.
Yes.
So every day, that's what I do in the morning. I don't read for hours. I'm going to be honest with you. I might just read for half an hour or an hour, depends how I feel. But every day, first thing in the morning, bang, I read a book. From the book, I turn my PC on and I go on inner circle audios, and I listen to it for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I doing this? I'm working on my mindset. I'm
Mm-hmm.
keep reminding myself of what I need to do in order to grow. Because I'll tell you what, guys, if you don't do this, I don't know the best way to describe this. Les Brown really explains this in really, really well in one of his speeches, but it's like there's a war out there. If you don't protect your mind, other people's crap, they will come and get you. I don't know if I can make myself clear with this, but it's a war out there, and you need to prepare yourself for war. And what I mean war, it's a mental war, really. All the negativity, all the media, all the newspapers, all the TV. Never mind your friends. I mean, I had to give up. I had to give up
Oh
some of
yeah.
my friends, and I tell you why. By the way, I was taking advice from people who were broker than me. Can you believe that? Why? Why would you do that? I was taking advice from people who were more messed up than me. I stopped all that, and I had to give up a few
Yeah.
of my friends because they were just being really negative, and they still are. So I would say stay well away from
Mm-hmm.
negativity. I still come across people who are negative. I just make my excuse
Mm-hmm.
and say sorry, I gotta go. I just make an excuse and go without being rude. I just don't want to surround myself with negativity. So now I only see. I know this is hard and sometimes hard to believe, but I only see the good things in life now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the bad stuff in life. Seriously, so I constantly work on my mindset. So I read a book in the morning, I listen to an audio, and then guess what? I jump into a video as well. Why do I do those three different things? Because it touches different parts of the brain.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm constantly growing myself. And I stop saying the worst sentence in English language, which is, oh, I know that. Oh, I
Mm-hmm.
knew that. I never say that again,
You
ever
don't
again.
know what you don't
I
know.
always ask, even when someone says something that I already know, do you know what I say? Oh, please teach me again. I
Mm-hmm.
want to hear from your perspective. I want to hear it from your point of view. I
Mm-hmm.
never say, oh, I know that. Why am I listening to him? I don't do that. I ask, oh, please teach me your way.
Yeah.
And I mean that. And then I listen and I shut up. Remember, 2 ears, one mouth.
Use them
Use it accordingly,
proportionately.
proportionally. That's the word. Thanks, Alan.
Yep. Oh yeah. I know.
So you listen, and you
Mm-hmm.
listen. When you listen, you learn.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's what I do on, that's me. That's what I do on a daily basis. Always working on my mindset. Always learning,
Yeah.
always learning. So
I think the degree of determination sometimes comes from how much hardship you had before. With your determination, I can imagine what a long dark period you have to break through in order to get to where you are. You
yeah,
know, I constantly hear that
yeah. But it's good.
underlying your message.
Sometimes it's good for you guys to go through struggles. And I think Miles,
Mm.
you know what I'm talking about here. You need to learn from your struggles in order to grow. So I wouldn't change my life actually for what I've had through. I'm 43 years old, by the way. So I found this quite late in life. I mean, this is all recent for me. All this wealth, or whatever you want to call it, or little success, it's the last 6 months. Prior to that, I didn't have much success. So I'm a learner. I'm all new to this, but I know now what it takes to go from point A to point B. So that's my determination. I know where I want to go, and I know how to get there. So all the struggles and all the bad stuff that I had to go through, actually, I'm gonna say this. It might sound that I'm contradicting myself, but as a blessing, because I learned from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go. I've seen it. I've been there. I don't want to go back there. So
Yeah.
that's my determination. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I think in Denver, you actually talk about the three elements to take you to success in Empower Network business. You said
That's right.
mindset. I wrote
Yeah.
it. I
I
took
did.
notes.
Mindset is
Mindset,
Yeah.
funnel, and traffic.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it worked for me. When I had those three things in place, suddenly I started having success from someone who failed for like the longest 8 years or something I failed for. Because I didn't have those three things. I might have some of them, but not all together. And when I had those three things in alignment, that's the reason for my success. That's the three pillars of my success. Seriously, I should throw in one more, which is attend the events. That's a new one now that I'm going to throw in. So
Yeah.
attending the events is a must, and I keep telling this to my team members and to everyone in my team that they need to attend the events. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. It's hard to comprehend that. It's hard to understand that when you don't attend it, because you think, why do I need to go there? You don't see it. You don't see the whole picture.
Yeah.
But attending the events, and I believe every single one of you attend the events because I know your faces. I know you're always there. You can vouch for me to say that this really works when you attend the events because I always have my breakthroughs during the events. And then, can you see the correlation here? My income doubles or triples after the events. Why? I don't have the time to go through all the, my income from the Miami time, but it really, really does. Miles knows this, that every time I attend the event, my income doubles. And I can prove this to you. I'm not just talking, out of, it really does. So I grow why? Because I grow as a person. And then automatically my income follows me. Income just follows you because you start, obviously you come back pumped and you go full force again and you get another perspective. I mean, look at the Denver event. We on fire now because you know what's going to happen in the next 30 to 60 days. We're going to have a new product. I mean, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
I know my income is going to go through the roof again. I just know it. You can see the conviction.
Definitely will.
If I wasn't there, I wouldn't have this fire in my belly. I wouldn't have the drive to do what I'm doing. I still have some drive, but not to my full potential. That's why I attend the events. And guess what? I will attend the events in October, and I will carry on attending the events. It's important. And I keep telling this to everybody. Everybody should do that, and then they will see for themselves.
Yeah.
So that's me, guys.
Sometimes people need to empty themselves in order to receive, but not everybody
Be
has
a learner. Do you remember what I said during my speech? The willingness to learn and the willingness to change. willingness to learn, so important. Because I was the opposite. I know that. I know everything. I know. The worst word you can say, I know.
Yes.
Don't care about that word anymore. Be willing to learn. So I'm always learning now. So when Miles and Juan and Felix and Helen, when they open their mouths, I'm here making notes. You guys think I'm lying, but I'm not. I'm here to learn. I am. I'm not here to brag. I'm not here to look at me. I'm here to learn. Be a learner. So when your willingness to learn is high, guys, and then your willingness to change matches that, the heavens will open. And you will be abundant. You have abundance in your life. It really is. There isn't a lot of secrets, really. I mean, I think what I've shared with you guys, it's enough, really, to really take you guys to the next level. Seriously, people keep asking me, thinking it's the traffic thing. I just smile. Miles, you know this. Traffic. Every day I get emails. Give me traffic. Give me. I used to be that way. I smile because I used to be the same. I came to Vic like that. Vic, I want traffic, and Vic just smiled. You think you need traffic, but what you need really is mindset shift, and then the traffic will come. See, the problem with us is we think too much about the house. How am I going to make 5,000? How? We always think in the house, but once you work on your mindset, the house will come. They will fall into place. And I can't explain that how it works, but it works for me. I'm the living, breathing proof that it works. So.
I mean, in Miami event, the Millionaire Retreat event, you had no sale. You go from zero.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and then in just 6 months, you actually breaking ground because in 6 months you almost catch up with a lot of founders and early members of the Empower Network, like Nicole Cooper. In Denver, she says she's making over 300,000, but she has been around for over 12 months.
Yeah.
You are breaking grounds, and
You know why? Because of the education that we have within Big Adi Mastermind. I don't put that down to myself, to be honest. I just follow rules. See, the thing with Big Adi Mastermind is you don't have to be very clever. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not extremely clever, but what I'm good at is following a system. If a system is in place, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not good at creating systems, but if a system is in place, I'm really good at following. So if Vic asks me to sing, my answer to him is, how high? I don't question the man. And a lot of people, unfortunately, they question him. I don't question Vic. If Vic says that call is red, I believe it's red, and it's red. In my mind, it's red. So I'm just good at following systems. And the good thing about Big Adi Mastermind, and why I believe Big Adi Mastermind will be the biggest and the baddest team in Empower, is because we've got first of all, obviously a wonderful mentor, but we've got a wonderful system which is duplicable. You can't just follow it. Just step into it, follow it, and just do it.
Yeah.
And the people who take the most action are the ones who succeed the most. Simple as that. I'm only successful because I take a lot of action. That's it. I don't know how much action Nicole Cooper takes. I have no idea about her business. I take a lot of action, and the system is there. The system is in place. I've got, guys, listen to me, right? I don't have any special deals with Vic. I swear on my kids' life that I don't have. Some people think I've got a hotline for Vic where I could pick up the phone. You know what I'm talking about, Miles, yeah? Miles, people keep saying the same to Miles. We don't have a phone that we pick up. Vic!
What's that?
What's that? We don't. I hope sometimes I did, but I don't, guys. I follow the same videos.
Yeah.
I bought the same course I believe everyone has got access to, which is High Traffic Academy. I just took the time and invested in myself. So when I get people coming to me asking me for traffic, and they've got the exact same tools that I have, I just don't get it, guys. We all have. We've got a wonderful system in place, so that's why I'm doing well, because I follow that system. I'm not doing anything different. I don't have any other secrets. I don't follow any other gurus where I'm getting my secret. No, everything comes from Vic. I just go and apply it, but I do it like this, guys. I take massive action. I don't take a little action. I take massive action. I go crazy, and I try to outwork everybody. If I find out that Miles is working 10 hours a day, do you know, guys, what I do? I go and work 15 hours. I have to work more than Miles. You see, that's what it takes. You know, that's what it takes. And I'm sorry to use you, Miles, man. I don't mean to. You know what I mean. We're brothers here, but that's what it takes. You guys need to take massive action, absolutely massive action, and anybody can do it. Really, anyone can do it.
I'm actually on your list. And I can be a proof that you take massive action.
Yeah, I certainly do. I do my best. Everything, even the little things you do in life, yeah, it's the same as the big things you do in life. So everything matters. So try to do any job you do. Try to do your best.
Wow.
Don't go half. Don't do big idea at 100% and then you do the chores in the house at 20%. That's not how it works. You need to do everything at 100%.
Wow.
So if I throw myself at something, I go and do it 100%. I do my best. I might not do the best job in the world, but my mindset is I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do this at 100%. So,
and your speed of implementation is really impressive, because every time you finish one event or Vic announce something, the next day or even same day you will send out the email about that thing, or your website is already updated.
Do you know why? I'm in love with this business. How do I explain this? When you're in love with something, you don't call it work, do you?
No.
Do you believe Steve Jobs was in love with Apple? I believe he was in love with Apple. He loved, maybe not Apple the company, but products and creating things. When you love something, You don't call it work, do you?
No.
Guys, I'm going to tell you this again. I work 7 days a week. Hello, 7 days a week. Some people take maybe, I mean, I know people in my team who take a day or two off, which is fine. I'm not here to say, guys, you need to work 7 days a week to be successful. No, you don't. I believe maybe Dave and Dave don't do that, and they're very successful. I'm only telling you what I'm doing. You've asked for me to share my, you know, my whatever, how do I do this, and I'm only sharing with what I do. I work 7 days a week, and I believe Miles does it as well. Do you know why? Because we love, I love this. So I wake up in the morning, what do you think I have in my mind? This business. Because, you know, when you're in love, and if you're in love with a girl, all you can think about is the girl, and when you're in love with a man, all you can think of, this is my love. I mean, I love my family. It's two different types of love here.
Yes.
But when you love what you do, you see, I never had that with printing. I didn't love printing. It was my passion. I never knew what my passion, what my call in life was. I never knew what it was. For the longest time, I was trying to get to that stage. Remember when you were a kid and you would be a fireman and you would be an astronaut? You were pure. That's your passion. I wanted to get to that stage in life when I was an adult. I had no clue what I wanted in life. No clue. I didn't know what my passion was until I found Vic and Empower Network. This is my calling. Finally. If you would have told me 2 years ago I would be speaking on stage and stuff like that, I would be on a webinar speaking to you guys, I would call you crazy, because that wasn't me at all. I couldn't even put two words together, never mind speaking on stage.
You did a great job.
Well, you know, it's incredible. Once you find, so why am I telling you this? Once you find something you love, you've got it, because the money will come. You see, money becomes secondary. Forget the money. Because you do something you love, the money just follows you. That's the best way I can describe it to you, really. And I'm sorry if I'm going on too long, because you've got other speakers as well.
Yeah,
so
Miles
I'm looking
needs to
forward.
talk.
I'm looking forward to hear, you know, everyone else.
Miles said, Paulo already said everything
No,
for me.
This is one of the most thorough, insightful look at your mind, and actually it's really, really helpful even for myself, because you know, to see how you struggle. I love to see people from struggle become successful, because yeah, because that process is so real. Everybody could really understand and put themselves in the same position. And
absolutely. All I do is I model myself in Vic. I try to be a mini Vic, so whatever he does, I just follow the guy. I feel sometimes like a fake, you know. I just follow him. So everything that I've achieved so far is because of him. Yes, he applies hard work. Yes, you need to bring yourself into it, of course. But all I do is I look up to the leaders, and there's other leaders obviously in this company that I look up to as well. I just model them. So every time I'm attending their webinars, by the way, I always make notes when Tony rushes and all that, they have webinars. I'm there, I'm listening. I'm listening to the Monday night call. Yes, it's 2 o'clock in the morning in England, but I'm there. Why do I do that? Because I want to be where they're at. And I remember when I first started, I used to look at Nicole Cooper, Tracy Walker, Tony Rush, Chris Record. They were gods to me. I was like, wow. I used to know them from other companies, and I thought they were gods. I was like, oh my word, look at these guys. I want to be just like them. And now I'm sharing the stage with them. And they, yeah, I tell you what, guys, they just people like you and me.
Yeah.
Absolutely like you and me, with a lot of insecurities as well. They're learners. They just like you and me. And I thought they were untouchables. I thought they were gods. They walked on water and stuff like that. They don't. They're just like you and me. And you know what? Seriously, they're wonderful people, by the way. And guess what? I still look up to them. I don't see them at my level. I'm still here. I'm looking up to them. I'm learning. So when they open their mouth, I shut up and I listen and I learn. So yeah, all I do is, first is Vic, obviously he's my mentor. I model myself in him, then I learn from the leaders. And if all the leaders are readers, as they say, all the leaders are readers, I become a reader and I read. That's what it takes. The willingness to change. You need to have a high willingness to change. Even though I didn't like reading, you know, I like reading now. Why? Because I created a new habit in my subconscious mind. Again, the 30 days doing a habit. I've got a new habit now. Now I enjoy reading. Now I watch TV and I think, okay, but I don't even enjoy it anymore. Why? Because I've got other things now. It's like stop smoking. You don't enjoy the smoking anymore. You've got other things. So that's what it takes.
Yeah, I mean, I want to quote what you said earlier, and then we'll pass on to Miles. I think you earlier you were talking about Les Brown. I think what you were trying to refer is what he said. Life is a fight for territory. Once you stop fighting for what you want,
Audrey, thank you very much. That is exactly what I was trying to communicate. That is the message. See, I've got that all internally. I know all that internally, and then when I try to express it sometimes, and when it's 3 o'clock in the morning and all that, your brain kind of shuts down. But that's the exact message that I was trying to say. So always work on your mindset, because if you don't, guess what? The outside, they'll come and get you. That is exactly, you've got it. I love that. I love Les Brown, by the way. He's one of my favorite speakers in the world. I absolutely love Les Brown. And guess what? We had the chance to meet him in Hawaii. I mean,
yes, we did.
How wonderful! I had tears in my eyes, and I don't cry very often, I must say. I was like incredible experience.
I owe my first breakthrough to him, actually. Thank you so much, Paulo.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. I'm blessed and humbled to be here. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Just wonderful. So Miles, thank you for the waiting, but we enjoy so much, and I just wish it doesn't end. I just enjoy so much. I'm learning so much too. So Miles, he's also the top earner in the whole Empower Network, and I know you have some really struggle time in your life also, and then you break through, and right now life's just on the smooth sail. Now I believe, yeah. But without further ado, I will just turn it over to you. Oh, your audio.
Well, thank you, Audrey. And listen, I'm put it on.
Yes, I think we can hear you. One more time.
How about now?
Yay!
Perfect.
Is it better?
Yes. Perfect.
Okay. Well, listen, guys. Yeah, my name is Miles Segers, and Audrey, I just want to thank you for welcoming me to this hangout, and being able to hang out this time of night with all these wonderful leaders, because everybody on this panel is absolutely a leader. So I just want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
And I'm going to try my best to condense my story somewhat, because my story, seriously, my story is very similar to my brother Paulo, my brother from another mother. It's very similar to his, and if I told you, like my entire story, you would think that Paulo and I scripted it. That we were both, just had this script that we were reading and repeating the same thing. So I don't want to go in that direction. Again, I want to try to, condense my story somewhat and just touch upon a couple of points out there that I think could help, anybody that's listening or anybody that's thinking about, becoming part of this movement called the Bigger Mastermind. And I want to start out by saying that my brother, and he is my brother, Paulo, he mentioned that one of the driving forces of being successful, whether it's in this business or any business there is out there, is knowing what your why is and having a why. And my why has been listening to this hangout, for quite a bit, and she's actually getting ready to go to bed, but I told her, I was making faces and pointing at her because I wanted her to just stay on just for a bit, at least until I got on, So, not that she hasn't heard me before. She's heard my story many times, but again, guys, it's one thing to talk about or why and to say that you need to have a why, which is going to get you up early every morning, and it's going to keep you up late because you love what you're doing. So instead of just talking about my why, I thought I would show you my why, and then she can go to bed. So if you could just come by, sweetheart, and just go to the Some of you guys know her. You met her.
Yeah.
I've met her several times. Hey, come on to the hangout. Sit down with us.
Yeah, I miss you guys. It was a lot of fun in Denver.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing you again.
Yes,
for sure.
definitely.
All right, sweetheart.
Good night.
You can go to bed now.
Good to see
So,
you.
and here's the thing, guys, and you know, some of the stuff I'm going to share with you, I'm not gonna say these things to get. I'm not trying to make people feel sorry for me or anything. Number one, it is what it is, and the actions that I do and that I take, it's because I love what I do. Just like my brother Paulo was explaining to you. Once we get off this hangout, where I'm at here, by the way, I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and it's I guess it's 10:20 p.m. where I am in the U.S. And once I get off this hangout, my wife will probably be getting up to go to work, and I'll probably be going to bed around that time, which will be about 4:30 or 5 o'clock. And that's because I love what I do. But again, as I mentioned, my why. You know, my wife is my why, and I want to retire her. Okay, she has a job, and one of my driving passions is to retire her. So when I'm done doing what I love, because I'm a night owl, guys. When I'm done doing what I love, and I crawl into bed at 4:30 in the morning, my wife will still be there. Because again, it's all on me. It's just my lifestyle that I developed a passion for this business, and I'm telling you guys, sometimes I used to be a TV-aholic. Paulo talked about that, and since I've become part of this opportunity, really, I was a TV-aholic. Now, if anybody knows me, for me to give up television, which I did, by the way, I don't listen to the news, negative reports or nothing like that, and I don't watch TV anymore. So for me to give up television, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And my favorite movies were always horror movies. Like I like vampire movies a lot. And here's where I'm going. Here's where I'm going with this.
Thank you.
Here's where I'm going with this. A lot of times I'm working late in the morning, working on my business, and like I'm checking the clock. And it's getting closer to 4:30. I'm like, I gotta stop because I want to crawl in bed with my wife at least for 5 or 10 minutes before she gets up. So I'm checking the clock, and I feel like a vampire. Really, I feel like a vampire. I'm trying to get in bed before it starts getting light, and I'm saying to myself, man, and guys, I don't do this every night, but most nights, and I feel like, Miles, you can't change who you are. You love this business. You have a passion for it, and no matter how hard I try to get to bed early, I just get involved in something, and it just gets late. So I said to myself, the way I can solve this problem is to retire my wife, so she doesn't have to get up and go to work, and then I can just crawl into bed, and then everything is roses. So that's one of my goals. And guys, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I'm going to be retiring my wife probably within probably about 6 months from now. She's already looking into what she has to do with her job because she's young, but she's been there since she was 18. So she's probably going to have some type of pension, But again, being that we're part of this, I told her, I said, sweetheart, don't worry about your pension. We'll just use it as pocket money. So real quick, guys, and again, I don't want to take too long, so I'm going to try to condense this and let you know a little bit about myself. Again, my story is very similar to Paulo's, except I come from the corporate world. And when I grew up, my parents, taught me that you need to. And by the way, my parents, neither one of them went to college, but they wanted to see their son go to college. So I can remember back when I was 11 years old, thinking about what I wanted to do. I mean, there's not too many children at the age of 11 that kind of know what they want to do and what they want to major in, but I kind of knew. I knew I wanted to go to college. I knew I wanted to major in accounting. So actually, and again, I was very fortunate. I went to actually one of the best schools in the country, and I majored in accounting, and I went the whole corporate route. I mean, working for corporate America, doing the whole thing. But what came to my surprise is the fact that I was working for these various companies, and I kept getting laid off, or what they were telling me is that either a department was being was being moved overseas, or something was always happening at these companies. So I was starting to think it was me, that I was just wasn't doing a good job. But I sat down with one of my bosses, because I had many, and I talked to him, and I said, is it my performance? Is that why my position is being eliminated? And he was very honest with me. And he explained to me that no, Miles, it's not you. I mean, you do great work, but unfortunately, due to the economy and what have you, the company's not doing that well. In the first place, they start looking to cut is personnel. And I said to myself, oh, okay, well, I guess that's just how it is. So, I'll go and look for another job. So, to wrap it all up, guys, I when I was in the accounting profession, I must have moved to like 6 or 7 jobs within the period of 10 years. And I said to myself, I said, wait a minute. I went to college. My parents spent all this money on school. I took out student loans. This is not how it's supposed to be. I mean, I thought I would be secure with the job for the rest of my life. I really thought that. And see, guys, I know there's no job security. I know that. But see, the difference is I thought that by having that advanced degree that I was immune, that I would be safe from getting laid off. And no, I found out that I wasn't immune. So again, I struggled moving from company to company, and I really kind of got tired of that. Always kind of coming into a new company and starting from the bottom. So I decided to venture into the wonderful world of real estate. And I think there's I know there's a lot of people out there that listening right now that are real estate investors, or maybe thought about dabbling in it or whatever. And I can tell you, for me, I did really. Here's the thing. I was kind of like a how can you say? I was kind of like a hot shot. When I got into the real estate industry, I did really well. I mean, there were months where, I just felt like I had hit the jackpot. I was spending money, just treating my wife, going on vacations, expensive dinners, and again, guys, money is a tool. It is all about lifestyle. It's not just accumulating paper. It's about building a lifestyle, securing a future for yourself and your children, really leaving a legacy. So I thought real estate was really my calling. But what happened is I would have some months where I made a certain amount of money, and I got used to that. I got used to living that way. But then I had months where I barely made any money at all. So I kind of noticed that I was on this seesaw. Like one month I would do really well, and then the next month, we were barely making any money at all. And see, here's the thing, guys, that really got me thinking and challenged my confidence. Challenged my integrity as a man. I am now, but this is changing. The relationship me and my wife have, I handle all of the bills. All the bills. And the reason why I do that, guys, is because I learned that from my father. My father was that way with my mother. He handled all the bills. She really didn't know anything, and he took care of everything. He was a man. He took care of everything. So, naturally, you're going to learn from your parents. You don't know better. So, I follow the same pattern. But here's the thing. My wife and I, we were both really part of the real estate industry, and I handled everything.
Oh man. He was in the momentum. It's like he was going up, and it's like
Miles, we have a little bit audio
technical
issue
difficulty.
between. Sounds like music though.
Yeah, it does. It does.
That okay?
A little bit better, but your screen is frozen.
Yeah. You're not smiling at us anymore.
We still have problem hearing you actually.
Okay, I might
He probably should get out and come back in.
come back in.
Yeah.
It might help better.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys, just hold tight.
Oh, actually, you're fine now.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Am I okay now?
Yeah, you're okay. Oh, your face still
Your face
frozen.
is moving
but
very
audio-
slowly.
Okay, I'm not sure why, guys. I
Oh, yeah,
apologize.
we can hear him now. That's
Yeah, we
good.
could hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm not sure where I left off, and I'll try to wrap it up.
Oh man, you're gonna let us down like this?
You're on
No.
fire, man.
Hey, listen, just see what you guys can hear me, okay? If you can't, just jump in and tell me, because I think we might be having bad weather here or something that's affecting my connection.
Probably.
That's fine.
You're
Okay.
fine now, though. You're
It's
fine.
All right.
fine now.
So where was I? I was talking about the real estate, and I was talking
Yes.
about hiding the bills.
Yes. Well, you hadn't gotten to that part yet.
Okay. All right. So let me get into that part. I was actually managing all the bills, and by the way, I said I was a real estate investor. So my wife and I had accumulated a lot of properties, rental properties, which we were very excited about and proud of. But I was getting to a point where I wasn't making the same amount of money each month. Some months I was doing really great. Some months I was making barely any money at all. So what I would do is we were living off of a good month for like 3 or 4 or 5 months. And I'll tell you guys, when you have a lot of rental properties with mortgages on them, and then you have just your general bills, you can't survive that way. And my wife, even though I was hiding it from my wife, she knew something wasn't right. Okay, I mean, not just that I was getting phone calls from the bill collectors, she was also getting phone calls from the bill collectors. And I'll tell you, I've said this in Hawaii, and I said this in Chicago. If it wasn't for me being blessed and fortunate enough and believing in the law of attraction, which attracted me to Vic, if it wasn't for me running into Vic Stryzus and getting involved in this opportunity, I'm not going to say for sure, guys, because I'm a very positive guy and I don't like to think negative, but I can tell you that there's a very strong possibility that me and my wife were headed towards divorce. Okay, and my wife, I'm telling you guys, my wife is she's everything to me. I mean, she's my baby. she's everything to me, and for me to lose her, or there's a chance that I could have lost her. I just don't know if I could have carried on, seriously, without her. So, fast forward, guys. I mentioned that I was in real estate, but while I was in real estate, on the side, okay, or in the background, I was dabbling in the internet marketing industry because, I always thought it was fascinating to be able to make money online, and I always said to myself, man, that would be really nice someday to do that full time. But I would look at these gurus, and I just never thought I could be one of them. In fact, now I know that to make money in this industry, you don't even have to be a guru. You don't have to be a guru to make money. You just have to apply yourself and find the right opportunity. So what I decided to do, okay, when I was having the struggles in the real estate industry, I decided to join a program. Not this program, a different program, which I'm not going to mention. And guys, we were struggling with the bills at that time. In spite of that, I went ahead with this other program and spent close to $5,000 to do this program because the program that I got involved with, in fact, the program was guaranteed to make us, I'm not going to say even the amount of money, X amount of dollars. There was a guarantee that came with the program. So I said, hey, I have to do this, and I jumped right in. Here's the thing, guys, and here's which I'll never do again, by the way. When I invested in this program, I didn't tell my wife about it because I said to myself, well, I know this. I know this is gonna work. You know, this is what I've been looking for. And after I start making money with it, I'll tell her about it then. I'll surprise her. But it didn't quite work out that way. So now we're getting close to the Christmas season. That was about the time I had joined this program. We're getting close to the Christmas season. And the bills are piling up still more, guys. The bills are piling up. And I'm a real estate investor, so I don't have a JOB. So I'm relying on the real estate, which really wasn't working out. And the other program I was involved with just wasn't working out. But here's one key thing, and Paulo mentioned this. No matter how bad things seem, there's always a silver lining. I always thought that way. And you can always pull from the tough times that you have, because the person who had created this program, I was very upset that it wasn't working. So I kept asking this person, why isn't this working? What do I need to do to get this to work? And they told me that, Miles, you need to learn how to drive traffic. You need to target traffic. You're not targeting the right audience. I said, okay, that's great. Can you show me how to do that? And the person attempted to show me how to do it, but they never really showed me anything. They never really showed. And I kept asking them every month, like, what is this? I kept saying, I mean, I was really frustrated. I'm like, this thing is not converting. And they kept telling me the same thing. Well, you're not targeting. You're not targeting. Okay, I hear you loud and clear. So what I decided to do is I took the bull by the horns myself. I started doing some research. I went to Google. And any of you out there can do this. I typed in traffic generation, how to find leads, what have you. And lo and behold, it took me to a blog. I went to a blog. And on this blog, there was a little tiny advertisement, a very small one, about traffic generation. And I clicked on it. I opted in. Okay. And I think a lot of you can share the same story with me. This video started playing with this guy who I'd never heard of, with a funny accent. He had a funny accent. But as I listened to him, I wasn't hearing his accent anymore. I was mesmerized at what this guy was telling. And I said to myself, it was almost like the clouds had parted. I'm like, this is what I've been looking for. I'm like, what is this? And it was called High Traffic Academy. So that was video number 1. And he promised me that I would get video number 2 in a couple of days. Guys, let me tell you something. I was checking my email every day. I was checking my spam folder. Where is video number two? Because I was telling my wife about this guy. I said, sweetheart, I found this thing online, and I said, you have to hear this. I let her hear some of it. So anyway, the series had actually 4 videos. So again, they came like every 2 days or so. And I absorbed that stuff. In fact, I said to myself, I said, this guy sounds like he's the real deal. Mm-hmm. And in fact, I learned so much from those free videos that more than I had spent on other courses that I had bought. So I said, you know what? The truth is, the test is in the pudding. I said, let me take some of the stuff. This guy, who I couldn't pronounce his name at the time, I'm pretty good at pronouncing it now, but I said, let me take some of the stuff this guy is talking about on these videos and apply it to this product that I couldn't get to convert. And guys, there were other people involved in this program with me, people I had met that became friends of mine. So anyway, I applied a couple of things that he had taught me on the free videos. I applied them to this product I was trying to promote. 2 weeks after I had heard that 4th video, the free one, 2 weeks after, I had 3 sales. And these were high-ticket products. The commission was $1,000. So at that point, guys, I was sold. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what else this guy has to offer, but whatever else he does, I'm going to get involved. And I did. I joined High Traffic Academy. And again, this is all around Christmas time. So here we are, guys, and I can remember it to this day. December 20th. I remember the day. I know Paulo remembers the day. December 20th, Vic Srizus put together a webinar for people that were on his list. Right. December 20th. Yep, and it was 5 days before Christmas. And I thought, because we were having financial difficulties, and also I forgot to mention, which it is important that I mention that right before Christmas, our house was about to go into foreclosure. I was worried about losing my house. I was worried about losing my car also. And I'm telling you, guys, the law of attraction does work, because here we are 5 days before Christmas, and I love Christmas. I've always loved Christmas as a child. In Christmas time, I'm a big spender. That's just me. My wife tells me that I spend too much, but that's just me. So I said to myself, you know what? I was really, really upset, because I said to myself, this is going to be the first Christmas where I really don't have the money to spend on the people that I love. So I said, well, you know what? I'll make it through. It's Christmas time. I can't spend that much, but I'll make it through. So anyway, on December 20th, 5 days before Christmas, is when Vic had that webinar, and when he introduced all of us to the Big Editor Mastermind. And I said to myself, I said, this is it. Because first of all, I knew I had found a mentor, the right one that I've always been looking for, which was Vic. And I'm just going to tell you like it is, guys. If Vic told me to hop on one foot, like as Vic says, to train birds to hop on one foot, that's how Vic says it. I would have done that. So, but anyway, seriously, guys, when Vic introduced this opportunity to me, to all of us, and the way he explained how it would work, how the program would be organized, I didn't even think for a second. I didn't hesitate for a second. On December 20th, I signed up, I joined, became part of this Big Editor Mastermind community. And in spite of the fact that for the first time, I didn't have money to splurge on Christmas, December 25th, 2012 was the best Christmas I ever had, guys. The best Christmas I ever had. And I can tell you, from that point, when I got involved in Empower Network, again, I was already part of the Big Editor Mastermind. From that point, guys, my life, my income, and my life, I couldn't imagine where I'd be right now. It's never been better, guys. And here's the best part. The best part is the seesaw that I was on, going up and down with the real estate. No more seesaw, guys. Right now, not just my income, because the income to me is secondary. My life, my belief in myself, and I know where I'm going. It's just going straight up, guys. It's going straight. And again, I'm going to say it for what it is, because I think I'm a pretty transparent guy. I just say it for what it is. I owe all of this to two people, and I told these two people this at the last Empower Network event we had in Denver. I owe this, number one, to my wife, and I owe it, number two, to my mentor, Vic Stryzus. And guys, I always mention my wife, not just because she's my wife. She's my partner in life. And let me tell you something, guys. Our house would have went into foreclosure. We would have lost it all. Everything that we worked, we would have lost it all if it wasn't for my wife. Because let me tell you something. Guys, I was on fumes. I was hanging on a cliff, on my fingers, just hanging on a cliff. But I always found a way. It's like that cat with 9 lives. I always found a way to bounce back. But here's the thing, guys. Even a cat with 9 lives is gonna run out.
Lives.
You know what I mean? So guys, that's what happened, because my wife was telling me, look, sweetheart, if things don't change, you're gonna have to find a job or something. and I never wanted to go back to a job after I got into real estate and after I was dabbling in internet marketing. So staying up late, not getting sleep, not being up because I enjoy what I'm doing, being up because I'm worried about the bills. So I got to one point, and again, it was always around like a holiday where things are supposed to be happy time, right around Thanksgiving, right before that Christmas I was telling you about, right around Thanksgiving and sometime late November. Guys, I just couldn't hang on anymore. For me to hang on as long as I did was a miracle in itself. But I got to the point where I couldn't hang on anymore, and I'm hanging on that cliff, and guys, I let go. I'm like, you know what? I just can't do this anymore. I let go. But the reason why I'm sitting here talking to you guys right now is because somebody caught me. Somebody caught my arm as I was falling, and it was my wife. It was my wife. And I just owe everything to her, and I owe everything to my mentor, Vic Stryzus, and also I owe everything to this whole community that I'm involved with, and being able to network and share and be a part of everyone's lives here. I tell you, I owe everything to Big Idea Mastermind. That's all I can say. I really, really do. I really
Thank you so much. And actually, regarding the real estate, because I went through that whole trouble also, and you kept it very short, but that was a very, very painful time, and I think a lot of people went through the same thing. That was one of a rare disaster in history, actually.
do. Yeah.
It must be a lot of stress, especially you have multi-building, multi-houses, right?
It was, Audrey, because we had some properties that they were vacant. So here I am trying to pay my mortgage for my house and trying to pay mortgages for these empty rental properties, and after a while you just say to yourself, just forget it, just let the banks take them back or whatever, and it's straining your marriage. So for an opportunity to come along like Big Idea Mastermind that really saved me from just throwing in the towel, I'm just totally blessed. I'm totally blessed.
Yeah, I actually I see, if everybody's life was a line, and I see so many lines in the same time going different directions. In 2008, Dave Wood was homeless.
Yeah.
And 2009 June, he started to take off, started going to MLM and started to take off. And Dave Sharp was a drug addict.
Yeah.
And Paulo, you were struggling during that time, trying to make it online. And Miles is struggling from 2008. That on was the storm of real estate. And if everybody's life was a line, it was parallel until one point we all merged to one point. That's Big Idea Mastermind Empower Network.
That's true.
And it's and that point happens because it's the power of a choice. People are not making choice, their life will continue to go parallel into disaster. If you don't make a choice, you're going to take that power back. Your life. Imagine at the same time, what were you doing when people are turning their life around? Paulo, Miles, Dave Wood, Dave Sharp. I constantly asking myself at that time, my choice was the one preventing me from getting to this point. Only when at the point that I said, okay, enough, I have to make a choice, and that choice will take me to where we are. It's a really interesting things that we run down this line of a life and being very passive, but at a certain time you can take back the driver's seats. And hearing you guys' story really give me more respect to you guys, because you guys went through so much, and it takes so much more to get back on track. So I want to hear our panels, our other people's thoughts, and let's go from Juan really quick.
All right, good to have you guys here, Paolo and Miles. Man, you guys are awesome. It's just a pleasure being here with you guys, having you guys on. And let me tell you, just listening to your story, both of you, man, it just lightens me up. Paolo, when you mentioned that, about your job, about, oh man, like tears, I literally had like 1 or 2 tears just on my eyes. It's I could totally relate to the development, the mindset. I remember in Hawaii, I asked you, hey Paulo, I asked you for some tips, and we were just getting on the bus to go to the private ranch in the private island, and you told me that, hey man, read those books, read those books because listen to the audience. That's what you told me, and you know, it is today, and I won't go to bed without reading my at least 30 days of reading, and I see such a change in myself. I like Miles, I've become a new person. I have friends and my family, and they tell me that I'm different. But to be
Mm.
honest, I hadn't seen it in myself. I hadn't realized that I had been changing. And I don't look at Big Idea Mastermind as a job. This to me is a passion, and that's the difference. That's the difference from when I was working at a corporate job recently out of school, and I started reading, and I think that I shifted something inside of me shifted because I wasn't happy at where I was. I wasn't happy at my corporate job, and I was making money for a kid like me. It was good money, but at the same time, I felt empty. I felt like rotting inside because deep inside I wasn't doing something that my purpose in life. And now what I do here, what I'm doing now, it's just I could stay all day, like you, Paulo, like you said, I could stay all day and all night. Just working on Beam and learning and reading, listening to the audios, preparing myself. And to me, I don't see it as a job. I see it as growing. I'm not even. I don't consider that I'm even struggling. I'm growing, and I know it takes dedication, time, patience, but overall faith and commitment. And I'm willing to do what it takes, but I don't, like just today, just to give one quick example here, I made up my mind that I was gonna go through the 15K and the Masters, and I just thought of myself today. I haven't blogged today, and it'd be cool if I just got at least one lead, and to a guy like me who never had any idea whatsoever of blogging and who never believed in blogging to make a point. Right before starting the hangout, I just logged in and I was checking something on my get response account, and I saw one lead. I was like, this is cool. This is cool. It actually works.
You
And
are a
now
creator.
and every single day I get one, two, three leads. But before I did not believe in blogging. Like I remember when blogging had just come out, I thought it was for girls to gossip, and I have grown because that was one of the things that I had to change the mindset. And man, I can so relate to Paulo and Miles. Yeah, um, the TV, I don't even watch it anymore. It's just I think there's a TV in my room just for adornment, but I don't. Absolute zero TV, absolute zero radio. I also trade. I trade the stock market, and that's like a hobby to me. But just and we have to like stay tuned with what's happening. But I don't even turn on to the radio, no TVs anymore. What I do, I read. I go out and I find what I need. That's it. Period. The rest, I'm listening to the inner circles. I'm reading the
Man.
books, and I'm listening to Tony Robbins. I'm listening to Bob Proctor, all the videos, the coaching videos, Bigger Than Mastermind, and it's like I have absolute faith that I'm gonna get through. And like those words that you said, Paolo, I see that I'm breaking through them. And
Good man.
because to me, I didn't even know what a lead was when I started in this business. And I had this self-limiting thoughts that, man, am I gonna get a lead? What are leads? Am I gonna get them? Like deep down in my subconscious, I didn't know really that I would be getting leads, and just today, without barely doing any work, I am getting leads. It's awesome. But yeah, it's a total different mindset. And with that said, guys, thank you for being here. You guys are awesome, man. You guys inspire me. If I sometimes if I put 15 hours a day, I want to put 30 hours a day now.
Yeah.
But hey, I want to pass it on to Felix. I know we have a limited time here. Well, thank you guys.
Felix, you're up.
Yeah, wow. Miles and Paulo, we met like 3 times already. Chicago, Denver, Hawaii, and you guys never seem to, you guys are so humble and well put together that you guys really inspire me to, grow and become more. And I remember in Denver when Vic called us for the private party to go on stage for people that made over 10K, and I was on stage with you guys, and I felt really, really privileged. I mean, I was really, really nervous too, but I felt really privileged because I look up to you guys, and I was there on stage with you. So, I mean, I'm still pounding on the wall, and I know it's coming little by little. And before the hangout, Paulo said to me that, if I just keep doing it, that I'm eventually gonna get up there too. And Miles keeps saying that you guys are brothers, but I think you guys are my brothers too. I'm like
We're a
the
big
third.
family.
Yeah, I'm like the third missing brother because I also come from the corporate background. I actually work for a big financial Wall Street firm, and I do accounting, like Miles did before. And I mean, it's really, really boring work. But I come from a corporate accounting background, and before, when I started online marketing, I started doing a lot of niche websites. I was dabbling. I was making 50, $100 a month here and there, but nothing really substantial, And that's when I really started to look for something online to get traffic. And we all have the same story here. We bump into High Traffic Academy, and that's when everything really changed for me. And the reason I did that was because me and my wife, we were struggling. Even though I was working at at a financial firm, making good money, we were struggling, and we actually got separated in July last year, right before, well, not really right before, when I had like my major breakthrough with High Traffic Academy and Big Idea Mastermind. But things happen for a reason. And she did notice I was making money with Big Idea Mastermind and decided to contact me and join the business. So I do thank Vic for that. Vic came around at the right time. You know what I mean? And and my story is like, he always says his story, and I remember in was it Denver? No, it wasn't Denver, but in Hawaii. And I was really tearing up when he was in the broadcast, in the live broadcast. And I saw Miles in the hallway, and I kind of stopped him for a little bit. With KK Chan was there, and like I wanted to speak to him about that because I have a similar story, but it wasn't really coming out. And Miles said that he gets really emotional talking about it, so he wasn't really ready to talk to me about it either. So. But I just saw that energy, and I was like, wow, if he did it with his wife, I'm gonna look up to Miles and see, grab some of that energy and just, just keep moving forward with it. So thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Sharing.
Thank you so much. Ellen?
Wow. No, I'm telling you, thank you, Paulo, for staying up. Thank you for
You're
joining
welcome.
us. And Miles, thank you so much for coming in. It's so funny that, yes, I do remember that Miami broadcast. And when Miles was talking about his wife, and I mean, it's like the whole thing with the real estate. I've been there, has the multiple houses. But the only thing is that my marriage didn't last. Even though I was married for quite some time, but that, I never even talked about that before. But yeah, but it's like I could feel it, and it's so funny. It's like just like Paulo talks about, his wife, his children, and that's what keeps me going. My kids is that I know that I have to do everything for them and to just provide for them, because of course, when you keep working and you don't have time, I used to work 12-hour days, 6 days, sometimes 7, and sometimes even more than 12. Sometimes it'd be 16 hours. So needless to say, it's like you go from, you have, and then you don't have, then you have to give your time, and your kids, they don't see them, and it's like then your health goes down, and it's like something's got to give. And I'm so thankful. I mean, I don't even know why I went online, because I mean, what does being in the medical field have to do with and online have to do with each other? I have no idea. I knew nothing. And that's of course how I found Vic, because gotta find traffic. If nobody goes to your site, you can't make it. So I mean, I'm so thankful. I mean, the Big Idea Mastermind has done more than that, because then as I was trying, which is not, it's a failure word, but trying to find myself, which is I started to find the mindset. But with the Big Idea Mastermind is when it's like, I mean, I don't think a lot of people really realize how important the mindset is, and how it's like how love for everybody. And it's like when you talk to Paulo, Miles, and or any of the high earners, and you see how that humble, it's like that humbleness, that love for everybody, isn't something that you can get from somewhere. It's something that is within. And how do you get that? You have to take care of your mind. You have to do that mindset. When they say read, you read. When they say listen to audio, listen to audio. Go watch a video, do it. Because the change isn't so. It's almost like it's a subtle but deep change that happens, and it permeates through everything that you do. And that's how the business is, like everything follows. It is so important, and I think a lot of people they don't realize the importance and that love that you have for yourself, for everyone. It's like unconditionally, you want to help everybody. And it's like, yes, it's not a special traffic formula. The power is within you. You have it. You are the creator, and you can make it happen. And it's just like when Paulo was saying that things just come into play. And it's like the circumstances, situation, events, people will come into your life to open the. It's like all of a sudden you got something pops. It's like something, a place that you could have gone to every single day. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, why don't I click here? And it takes you somewhere. It's like how? Because you know what? When you've got the mindset, when you're in the right place, you are led, guided, and just protected, and you know it's something is guiding you. But that's not something that can be taught. It's something that is within, and that is definitely one of the great things that I can thank you, Paulo and Miles, for just basically just being yourselves, and just for letting us understand a little bit more in depth how important it is to take care of ourselves and know our why. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is such a wonderful hangout. And honestly, that before, I mean, we met, Miles and Paulo, we met, but we never really talked. And for me, hangout is a special place for me. Maybe it's because the distance, and maybe it's just the close-up of a face. All the walls came down. People could talk heart to heart. And it actually brings me closer to whoever's on the panel, and it's just a wonderful place. And for whoever's listening today, I don't know if you understand what we have brought on today. We have the top earner in the whole Empower Network to come to talk to you with no other purpose. And thoughts are vibrations, are energies. We send out these energies only because we want to empower you. So receive that and take it and start to go from there. Take that as a starting point and start to go to change your life, because chance like this is rare because people put their hearts out there just for you. There are a few people, a few times in your life that opportunity really knocking on your doors, and this is the opportunity knocking on your door right now. I want to thank Miles and Paulo. Paulo is 4 o'clock in your time, right? In the morning.
Yes, it is.
Really, really, really.
Half my brain's already switched off.
I know. We feel really, really flattered and really humble, and have the chance to know both of you. And personally, I really, really learned a lot because seeing you guys succeed so much, there's always a myth factor for me. But with this hangout, there's no more mystery, and we hope we all get on stage with you guys because it's quite lonely off stage. So
We will be on stage.
Thank you.
Yes.
We don't hope. We know we will.
we will be.
We'll all be on stage holding hands together.
Oh, yes.
Changing the
That's
world.
it, period.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
With that said, I want to end this broadcast, and so Paulo to get to bed, and Miles is getting late for you too. Thank you. I hope there will be more
Bye-bye.
chance to know you. I'll see
See you
you guys.
later, guys. Good night.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you.